So literally, I've been planning on recording this video all week, and then I get a pimple. Like, the stars just must not even be aligned. I thought that Trump was the worst thing that happened to the world, ladies and gentlemen. But hello, meet me. I'm Flo. So today's video is going to be all about my cystic acne journey. If you guys do not know, I've been suffering from cystic acne since I was about 23 or 24. About 4 or 5 years ago, I started visiting a dermatologist, and that is when my life completely changed. He gave me everything from antibiotics to topicals and just everyday skincare products that I should be using in my skincare regimen to make sure that my cystic acne and the oil levels are kept at bay. Before we jump into the video, if you guys do not know the drill, if you have not subscribed to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now, and make sure you go ahead and turn on those notifications so that every time I upload a video, you guys can see this beautiful face. And without further ado, if you guys want to hear about my cystic acne journey, then please keep watching. I have been suffering from cystic/hormonal acne for about 4 or 5 years now, the majority of my mid-20s up until now. And I do have the perfect regimen that I feel will work for a lot of you out there. I know it definitely has changed my life. If you guys do not know what cystic/hormonal acne is, it is when you have a hormonal imbalance and you produce extra sebum or excess sebum in this area. If you guys are suffering from pimples around your jawline, around your cheeks, around your mouth, then more than likely you are probably suffering from hormonal acne. It's very, very common in girls in general, and sometimes it even doesn't onset until your adult years. So I was kind of surprised when I started getting breakouts, but then once I started learning more about it and became more informative, I was like, okay, this makes sense, because as you guys know, I'm an oil producing freak of nature, and I really didn't get breakouts until like around my cycle time, if that makes sense. I know a lot of you girls probably don't suffer from acne at all, but when you do get acne, it could be onset by your cycle, which is perfectly normal because that's when our body has the most like hormonal changes, and we just go through changes in general. I think that I covered my whole introduction that I wanted to like let you guys know about. So I have all of my, or the majority of my skincare items that I use on a daily basis here in front of me. And first I'm going to be talking about some of the items that I use in the morning and night that are topicals. And then I'm going to be going into the antibiotics that I do think are key to keeping the oil levels down in the cystic acne at bay, especially during like your cycle time when your hormone changes are at their optimum levels. So the first thing I want to mention is not going to be dermatologist prescribed, but these are things that I really do think work for girls that are really oily and that just really have acne prone skin. The first thing I want to talk about is CeraVe. This is a foaming facial cleanser. Although it says foaming, this is a gel, and gel cleansers are something that my dermatologist did recommend. He said that although foaming cleansers are really, really good for cleaning out all the gunk and oil, for girls that have oily skin, sensitive skin, or cystic acne, the gel doesn't like over dry us. It also keeps us moisturized. So that's one of the key reasons that he did recommend any type of facial cleanser that is gel based. So this one is going to be for normal to oily skin. I've been using this for about 5 to 6 months, and I really do think that this helps my skin stay even toned. I'm going to produce oil no matter what skincare regimen I use. I've just come to terms with that, and I'm okay. But I do feel like ever since I've incorporated CeraVe into my skincare regimen, I do think that my skin just really is evened out, and it doesn't like fluctuate a lot. I know that my hormones can be all over the place when my cycle comes, but ever since I've been using this cleanser in the morning, I just feel like I don't have as many breakouts. And I really do recommend this if you guys are, you know, suffering from acne, if you guys have oily skin. This does have hyaluronic acid in it, and although we want to think that like the first thing to do is become as dry as we can when we have a lot of oil, that's not true, because if we do overly dry out our skin, then we will be like fighting to produce those oils, and that'll just like contribute to more acne and things like that, and you don't want that. You want to make sure that your skin is hydrated so that you're not overly trying to produce oil, because giving yourself essential oils is going to kind of like minimize the oils that already produce, because if you give yourself oils, less oil is going to produce, if that makes sense. I don't know if that like makes sense at all, but that's what I was kind of taught from my dermatologist and just other people that are super duper oily and they're in the skincare world as well. If you apply oils to your face, then you're going to produce less oil. So just kind of keep that in mind. Don't think that just because you have oily skin, you want to just suck out all of the oils. You're going to naturally produce those anyway. You just want to kind of balance everything out. So the next thing that I want to mention is something that my dermatologist actually prescribed for me, and this is going to be Axone Gel, and it's 7.5%. I have noticed that once I've started using this, the oil in the morning time isn't as heavy as it would be. Let's say if I went to bed, applied a cream, and woke up and just didn't do anything. I do notice that with this Axone Gel, I am a little more dry, and it does kind of strip you of those natural oils, but that's why it's also important to go in with like a moisturizer after it. If you apply this, don't like it applies kind of heavy, and it will leave like that white film on your face if you apply too much. So I would just say like use a couple of dabs and then rub it in so that it's clear and it doesn't dry out. But once it does dry up, you want to go in with the moisturizer to kind of like counteract that white film that may last. I definitely don't recommend using this by itself because it will leave like a white film or residue on your face. You can also use this as a spot treatment. That's how I used to use it when I first got it a few years ago, but now I just use it all over my face because like I said, I do feel like it leaves me a little less oily than I would be without using. This is supposed to also help with acne and cystic acne, and honestly, I use this probably about 3 to 4 times a week because sometimes it can make me a little more drying. But Axone Gel is something that's definitely recommended for girls who have acne prone skin. So if you do go to your dermatologist, I definitely recommend, or I definitely like suggest to either bring up these products that I mentioned, or just, you know, ask about them, or just see like what they think if you do have cystic acne. And if he does mention or recommend any of the products that I'm showing you, you will know that they do work, because I'm telling you, I have been suffering from this for at least 6 to 7 years ever since I graduated from college. So the next thing I want to talk about is not dermatologist prescribed, but it is the CeraVe moisturizing cream. Now I know you girls that are oily are probably thinking like, girl, we're not using a damn cream on our face, we already have oil producing. But this cream really does work for me. Although it is like a thick, I'll show you guys, although it is like a thick white consistency, it does go on pretty matte. I'm going to show you guys like where I just applied that. So as you can see, like it goes on pretty matte. I applied it here at the top, and then as you can see, I have like the natural oiliness of my hand here. But this area up here is like pretty matte, and I love the way it keeps my skin looking. I apply this in the morning. I have another cream that I use at night. But this is something that I really do love. I love to use it as a moisturizer before I do my makeup as well, because I want all things mattified on my face. And if you guys have been following me for some time, you know that I've been using this moisturizing cream for years to come, and I really do swear by it. Although this says that it is for normal to dry skin, I haven't had any problems with it. So this moisturizing cream also does have the hyaluronic acid in it as well. And if you guys don't know, hyaluronic acid like helps your skin to overturn rapidly, like the cells. It wants you to renew your skin so that you don't have like a lot of dead layers. It helps to exfoliate and just kind of like replenish your skin. So hyaluronic acid has a lot of great benefits to it. If you guys don't know about it, you need to read up on it, because I definitely recommend it. I feel like with everything that I do use on my face, either has to have like glycolic acid or hyaluronic acid. So I feel like with hyaluronic acid and glycolic acid, it really helps to restore my skin and just minimize wrinkles, and it's very anti-aging, and I'm all about that. So if you guys do get a chance to pick up the CeraVe moisturizing cream, I definitely recommend it for girls who have oily skin and sensitive skin. So now that we've covered like the face washes and the gels and the moisturizer, I also think that in your skincare regimen, it is of essence to have some type of mask included in your skincare routine. For me, I find that clay masks really work the best on my skin type, especially for deep pore cleansing and those cystic pimples and just things to just like cleanse out your pores, because I know I keep saying cystic all throughout this video, but that's what it's about. Like honestly, I'm fighting every day to make sure that I don't get those stubborn under the skin pimples. So the first mask that I want to talk about, as you guys already know, I mentioned this in my favorite mask video. This is going to be the Indian Healing Clay Mask. This is the deep cleansing pore mask, and it has natural calcium and bentonite clay in it. This is really going to fight against all that bacteria and just gunk and oil that builds up in your skin that really sometimes you can't see on the surface. This is going to make sure that it like deep cleans and just draws out all those impurities. So I definitely recommend this if you guys are in the market for some type of mask that is strong and deep pore cleansing. I also want to talk about something that's a little more subtle. This is by SkinCeuticals, and this is a clarifying clay mask. It's also deep pore cleansing as well. Although I didn't mention this in my favorites, I do use this about once a week because I just feel like it balances me out. And my dermatologist did recommend SkinCeuticals brand, period. So I do feel like I want to incorporate SkinCeuticals inside of my skincare regimen. As you guys can see, it is like almost gone because like I said, I do use it once a week, and it's a clay mask and I really love it. I honestly use this, although it says like 10 to 15 minutes a day, I probably leave it on for like 45 minutes to an hour, because after it deactivates, it just deactivates anyway. So I definitely do recommend SkinCeuticals as a brand if you guys aren't trying to go to dermatologists and spend like extra money. SkinCeuticals is affordable, but they do have a lot of great things geared for all skin types, but especially for oily skin and sensitive skin, I will recommend this for sure. So now the next 4 things I'm going to mention are stuff that I got from the dermatologist. You cannot buy this over the counter. I definitely recommend, like I said earlier, if you go to your dermatologist, definitely ask about these products, because I think they are key when it comes to girls who are fighting cystic acne, okay? So the first thing I want to talk about is spironolactone. Now this can be used as like a dual product, right? It can be used for blood pressure medicine. Don't let that scare you, because the dose that I use is actually for oil producing skin. So this is going to minimize my oil and also balance out my hormones when my cycle comes. I know that like for girls who don't even suffer from acne at all, like around your cycle time, that's when you notice that like your skin starts changing, your body starts changing. So you probably do get like little stubborn pimples. Like this time I was really lucky because I didn't get any pimples around my cycle, but as you can see, I have a little stubborn dot here, and I'm like, everything in me is like saying don't touch it, don't touch it. But after this video, like I just swear I want to go and just poke at it, which I do not recommend. Like, do not pick at your face. I used to suffer from like hyperpigmentation, acne, all of that, and I used to pick at every single pimple that would come, and then I would treat it after. Well, honestly, now that I'm like fixing the problem within, that minimizes the amount of pimples that I'm getting, the amount of oil that I'm getting, the amount of hyperpigmentation that I'm getting, everything. So spironolactone is definitely like one of the key components in my everyday routine. I do not go a day without taking this. If I'm running low and I have to like go back to the dermatologist before I can get another refill, best believe I'm one of the first things smoking to Katie, okay? So spironolactone, I have 50 milligrams. I take this once a day. I think you can also have an option where you can get like 25 milligrams and you take it twice a day, but honestly, for me, I've been doing this for about, like I said, 3 to 4 years. I've been taking spironolactone once a day. And like I said, this is going to minimize oil and prevent your hormones from being imbalanced, and also prevent cystic acne from forming. In conjunction with that, I also use Bactrim. This name that's on here is not Bactrim, but it's like one of those generic names. But I also take one Bactrim pill once a day. If you girls are familiar with Bactrim, you know that it's most of the time used for like bladder infections, urinary tract infections, and things like that, but it's for bacterial infections in general. So if you think about it, when you take Bactrim, you're using it to rid the bacteria from your system, including your skin. So this is also going to kind of act as an anti-inflammatory from the inside, opposed to this one acting as an anti-inflammatory from the outside. So when you think about acne, it's not just like, okay, on the surface, like, oh my God, I'm getting pimples every day. You have to think about like what's going on in the inside of your system. So that's, once I figured that out, like I have to stop what's going on the inside first. Then it all clicks like, girl, I should have been taking these antibiotics a long time ago, because now that I'm fixing what's on the inside, it's going to mitigate things that are happening on the outside of my face. Duh. That's like with everything. So I want to mention that, like, if you do go to your dermatologist and you're like, oh my God, I'm suffering from cystic acne, and they're prescribing you all these things that are not really working, you guys need to mention spironolactone and Bactrim. As a matter of fact, just Google spironolactone and you will see that like the #1 thing that it's used for is for hormonal acne. Like, that's what it's used for, so mark my word. The next 2 things I want to talk about are going to be a little bit stronger. Oh wait, I did want to mention one thing about the spironolactone. If you are, you know, trying to get pregnant, or you are pregnant, you don't want to use this because it can cause deformities in your baby. Like, that's the #1 thing the dermatologist told me. So I definitely recommend do not even think about this if you're trying to bear a child, okay? Do not do this at all, like seriously. So the next 2 things I want to talk about are something a little more aggressive, and that's going to be Tazarac. As you can see, my freaking tube is like beat the hell up because I've had this for several years. A little bit goes a long way. This is the Tazarac cream, 0.1%. Yes, 0.1%. This is super duper strong. My skin is so oily that my dermatologist also recommended me use it as a moisturizer. But honestly, I probably use it like 2 to 3 times as a moisturizer a week, because it even dries me out. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I noticed that if I use it every day, like on my forehead, or even like in my area, my T-zone area, that I do start getting like dry. I do start to get like dry patches. So I recommend using this as a spot treatment. I just started treating this pimple like a couple of days ago, and you probably can't see it, like it's not too bad, but I can definitely tell that it's one of those stubborn ones, that it was kind of like under the skin. And the reason why it's kind of red, because yesterday I tried to extract it and it didn't go too well. So I don't know what I want to do. So if it doesn't get like any bigger throughout the night, I will like just apply some of this Tazarac. This definitely helps with getting rid of pimples. It dries out your pimple. Like, that's what it is. This is Tazerac cream. It's going to dry you out. So if you use it, if I use it on this spot like every single day, the pimple isn't going to get bigger, but eventually it's just going to get dried out. Then it might leave like a little dry patch there, but that's okay because I can just counteract that with the cream or anything like that, any type of oil, just to make sure that that dead skin layer doesn't like show up through my makeup. So if you guys are in the market for something that you, let me rephrase that. If you guys are in the market for like a spot treatment and you feel like the ones at the drugstores are not reacting as quickly as you would like, I would definitely recommend using Tazerac. You need to go to your dermatologist and ask about it. This will leave you dry. It comes in a cream formula and a gel formula. I also have a few of the sample size of the gel formula. You guys know I love my samples, don't play. I do have a few of the gel samples because that's what I was actually using as a moisturizer, and it does keep you dry. I'm not gonna lie, it keeps me drier than normal throughout the day, but it does give me the dry patches, and I'm not trying to have that. But if I feel like I'm just like, oh my god, just over the world with the oil that I'm producing, I will start using this like 2 to 3 times a week, but I have to use it sparingly because it does leave you dry. The last thing that I want to mention, or actually I have one more thing I want to mention. This is very, very simple, but the last thing I want to mention, my wording and everything has faded off. This actually came from a compound pharmacy. It was also prescribed by my dermatologist. If you guys do not know what a compound pharmacy is, that's a pharmacy that mixes like different antibiotics or mixes like different creams to get the dose and the formula that the dermatologist recommends. Now, you can go to like CVS or Walgreens to get this because obviously you're not going to be like responsible for mixing some stuff that messes up your skin. But this is going to be an HCQR cream, and this is a bleaching cream. So don't look at me crazy when I say bleaching cream, but I don't have any hyperpigmentation for a reason, and that's because of this freaking cream right here. This has I think it has like a little bit of retinol inside of it, and it also has the bleaching agent. So whenever you have a pimple that's stubborn, and let's say you did pick at your pimple, so like this one, instead of putting the Tazerac on every day, since it is kind of turning red, I'm going to dab, and I'll just show you guys now. I don't know if I showed you. I'm going to show you how this looks. This is like a white cream. Sorry, I'm all over the place. I'm all over the place. So that's the Tazerac right there, and it's like a white cream, and that little amount is literally too much. But what I normally do is I just like dab it on the pimple like so, and I try to keep it like minimized to exactly where the pimple is, because if you don't, you will have a dry patch. I'm telling you, like, I've been there, done that. But I'd rather have like a dry patch than like a pimple sticking out the side of my freaking face. So normally what I do is I'll apply the Tazerac like once or twice a day. My dermatologist has recommended that I only do it once, but I'm like obsessed, so I do it like until the pimple goes away, which will also lead to excess drying. And then I will take a little bit of the bleaching cream. As you guys can see, this is kind of like a yellowish white color. This cream right here, you do have to keep refrigerated for it to be activated. So when I first started using it, I was like traveling with ice packs. I would have little coolers and just like keep it in there the whole time. It was crazy. So I will apply the Tazerac like during the day. Then at nighttime, I will apply a little bit of this bleaching cream and just let it do its thing. It's super duper strong, so I promise you guys, like if you have new red like spots on your face, or even like dark spots, the red spots will start to like literally peel and fade away like within a day or two. I swear to God, when I first started using it, I had like new pimples that I would pick at, so I would put it there, and it like literally bleaches it so quickly that it would turn like a fire pinkish or red color. So you're like, oh my god, I'm having a reaction, but you're really not. Like literally it's just like exfoliating all those layers off, like bleaching it, killing the acne and everything, y'all. I'm not even lying. So literally if I use this for like 2 days, by Wednesday, I swear, like this will be like a layer of dead skin that just falls off, and I'm here for it. When this runs out, I'm definitely getting more. Like I said, you need to use it sparingly, because by no means am I saying like go through and put this all over your face if you have like acne and dark spots everywhere, because I'm not going to be responsible for that. Like, we're not trying to bleach. We're not trying to play like Michael Jackson. Out of all these products, I definitely recommend these 4. I definitely suggest, highly suggest that you mention them to your dermatologist, because these will change your life. They definitely changed my life. Like honestly, I remember the days where I would get pimples and I would like not even want to go outside because like my pimple would be protruding so much, and it was like under the skin. There was nothing I could do about it. And then girl, like when you pick at your pimples, I know like everything in me right now is trying to say like don't pick at this pimple, but literally like everything in me is saying get it, get it, get it, get it, get it. And that is like the temptation that you need to fight, because once you stop picking at your skin, like you will probably do a 180 and things will just turn out so much better. Like just use the products that you can to minimize the pimples and to help them heal, because picking at your skin does your skin no justice. Like, I have so many techniques when it comes to extracting pimples, like you don't even know. Like, I used to go to my esthetician just to get a pimple popped because I didn't want to mess up my skin. I have an extraction tool. You can get it from Walgreens. These days, like, if I do, like, I'm not going to lie and act like I don't pick at my pimples anymore, because I do pop them if I see a white head. Like, if I see a little hole, it's game over. Like, I'm going in like a savage and I'm extracting that shit out ASAP. So, like, some of my techniques that I do use, like, just in case you guys, like, just can't leave your skin alone, don't laugh at me. Like, I highly suggest that if I were to go in and get this pimple, like today, what I would do is I would apply some Vaseline around the pimple, not on the pimple but around the pimple, because if you just go in and you try to like attack a pimple with your dry bare hands or tissue, guess what, you're going to damage your skin. It's going to turn red, it's going to bleed, it's going to like get swollen, it's going to get infected. You don't want to like damage the surrounding area, right? So you want it to be, when people get into fights, what do? They get Vaseline so that the punches can like just slide off. That is hilarious. I just thought about that, but if you think about that, like, conceptually, it makes sense. Like, you put Vaseline around it so you don't puncture your skin. So I apply a little bit of Vaseline around it, and then I get either 2 things of tissue, tear them off so that I can like put it right on my nail, because as you can see, my nails are super sharp. I try to go like this because you don't want to puncture your skin at all. So I either get 2 things of tissue or 2 Q-tips, right? Because Q-tips aren't going to hurt you. Like, it's tissue filled, it's great. I will just go in, squeeze, and then everything will pop out. Now, the worst feeling in the world is when you go through all of that and nothing comes out. It's so, like, I'm telling y'all, I've been through every single type of pimple extraction. Like, nobody can ever fool me when it comes to, I think I'm like the popping pimple police. Like, I'm the perfect popper. I'm the perfect pimple popper. Like, but anyway, so yeah, I don't recommend picking at your face, but for the girls who just cannot, like, just cannot hold back, like, I'm telling you, put some Vaseline on it, use tissue, don't use your bare hands, use some Q-tips. Use something that's going to protect you. Don't just go in there like this, because that's not going to work. So the last thing that I want to mention that I do every single day, not like I know we're supposed to, but no, that's not where this video is going. Aqua. Like, literally, I know that they say you're supposed to drink like a gallon a day, which is probably going to be like 3.5 of these. It's like 3.75 liters in a gallon. This is 1 liter. I make it my business to drink a liter of water a day at minimum. As you can see, I'm like a little less than halfway finished because I was like super busy today, but I am going to finish this all night. Like, I'm not going to drink anything else. When I eat dinner tonight, I'm going to drink water. I notice a difference in my skin and like the glowiness of it. I feel like when I don't drink a lot of water, I start breaking out. And you're probably thinking like, well, you have all these products in front of you, like, why are you breaking out? But no, like, literally you can tell that your body and your face is just like dehydrated. You just feel like you're thirsty all the time. Like, I just feel like my skin needs to be replenished when I don't get that liter of water in. When I drink this, I just feel like I'm glowing that much more. Like, I feel like I just need to glow right now, like, seriously. So my water of choice that I've been drinking lately is the artesian water. This has a pH balance of 7.6. I am like really all into that whole like pH balanced water. Like, I stopped drinking Smart Water and Voss water because I was watching the YouTube tutorials, and the acidity levels in those things is like 4 or 5, so I'm not trying to have that in my body. It's very important to have like balance. I'm not going to say alkaline water because I don't like the way alkaline water tastes. One of my favorite waters is Essentia, but I didn't want to show that in this video today because I know it is kind of like on the upper cost of, you know what I mean, of the dollar. So I'm going to show you something that is $1 a pop, and this is something that I drink every day, so I definitely recommend it. I definitely suggest that you guys go out, just buy a bunch of bottles of waters, because I feel like when I have bottles of water, then I get more like motivated to drink water. If I don't have a bottle of water, then I'm like forcing myself to go to the freaking filter thing and like get water at work, and I'm just like, ugh, it's getting on my nerves. If I have like my bottles of water at my desk, it just makes me more prone to just drink it. So I think that drinking water is essential also in your skincare regimen. You want to be replenished, you want to have all those toxins in your body rid, because they're either going to go out that way or they're going to go out this way, and we don't want them in our bodies, period. So yeah, I hope that these products were beneficial to you. I hope that you learned something today. I hope that I can relate to some of you girls out there, because honestly, it is like not even a joke. Like, acne troubles can really like just ruin your life. They can change your life. Like, literally, I feel like acne controlled my life at one point. I mean, I didn't want to do anything. Like, you can ask Ken, you can ask like my mom, my aunts, they would be like, oh my God, are you like that vain to where like you have a pimple and you just don't want to do anything? And I'm like, it's not about that. Like, I'm embarrassed. Like, it just, it's not that I'm like, oh my gosh, into myself. It was just like so embarrassing, like to go out and feel like you have a freaking mountain on the side of your cheek. Like, that was just not cute, and nothing that I did would help until I got in my mid-20s is when I finally was like, you know what, let me go to a dermatologist and see what the tea is. And it changed my life. If you guys want to like ask me any questions, if you want to know more about it, my email address is linked in the description bar below. I definitely can help you guys out. I have my own testimony, and I'm very, very passionate about skincare. I feel like I was an esthetician in my second life. This really means a lot to me because now that I've grown to like love makeup, and it's just like makeup is my life as well, having really good skin is really like the most important thing. And for me to sit down and record this video with you guys today and have on nothing but like literally mascara and my eyebrows done, of course, like really speaks levels for myself, because it was one point in my life where I would never, like, I wouldn't even go to the gym without putting on concealer or something because my skin was that bad. And although you might not like see it now, or you might not believe that I went through this, I wish I still had pictures of like, you know, growing up, and not growing up, but just pictures of like my post-college years, because that's when it really, really got bad. I did everything to like the at-home skin, micro skin dermabrasion. I bought into that, and I was like just doing the most, like all these ridiculous things. Like I even bought a Clarisonic like right smack dab in the middle of my cystic acne troubles, and we all know that wasn't going to fix it. Like I would watch all these videos like, what do I do for cystic acne? And nobody said anything about freaking spironolactone, Bactrim, Axone. Like all I heard about was what's like the Accutane thing, and I'm like, okay, there's no way I'm going to do Accutane. I don't think I'm like that severe. And then I heard about the Clarisonic, the at-home microdermabrasion, like all these different things that were just like gimmicks. You know what I mean? You have to have your skin under control first, and then you can use other things to maintain it. Like literally, I paid $300 for a Clarisonic, and I use it like once a week now. Like if that. The only time I really use the Clarisonic is when I go out with a full costume face beat. I come home, wash my face like 10 times, and use that to make sure that everything is gone. But honestly, it's about what's within people. Like I cannot stress that enough. Go to your dermatologist. Stop trying to self-diagnose. Stop trying to go to the drugstore and think you can find the perfect regimen. If you are suffering from cystic hormonal acne, go to your dermatologist, get checked out by a professional. If they don't mention these products, you tell them that NicReNoon said, I need spironolactone and Bactrim, because I rest assured it's going to work. I wanted to mention one more thing. I know that I'm rambling, but the only reason that he prescribed me the Bactrim is because I did have an allergic reaction to the spironolactone. That's like so important. I had an allergic reaction to spironolactone, so my dermatologist is so freaking clever and just like the best. He was like, okay, well, spironolactone is the only thing that's working for you, so we want to keep you on that. Minimize the dose. Give you something that's going to counter the allergic reaction, which is bacteria, whatever else that was happening. And he gives me the Bactrim to counteract that. And now it's just like heaven sent. Like I really wish I didn't have to take all these things every day, but it's just a part of my everyday life now. Like when I wake up, it's inculcated in me to get up, take my pills, brush my teeth. Like it's take my pills, brush my teeth. Like that's my life. And I'm adjusted to that. Like I'm acclimated. I'm not by any means tripping. Like I'm super grateful to have found my dermatologist, because without him, like they would have still been guessing. Like literally they would have been guessing, and I'm so happy. So like I said, if you guys want to know more about my journey, more about cystic acne in general, if you're in the Houston area and you want to know what dermatologist I go to, hit me up so we can talk about that. I would definitely let you guys know. And if you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. I hope you guys have subscribed to my channel. And like I said earlier, I hope that I helped somebody out there, or could relate to some of you girls out there or guys. And until my next video, I'll see you guys very, very soon. Thanks so much for watching. Down for one night, like I got 3 strikes. Call me, call me, call me, call me, call me.